After having watched many times the special episode, we can talk about several curiosities and some dumb mistakes we could find. Remember that these mistakes are just a curiosity to make us laugh a little, since we are all human and we all make mistakes. It is very difficult to create a production as big as this one and not have any mistakes. Besides this, there are also many curiosities and references to the original Mighty Morphin episodes. Let's start with a very dumb mistake that very few people have seen, and that is in a scene when the Rangers are in the Megazord, we can see something interesting on Billy's helmet. If you have ever worn a Power Rangers helmet, you may know that inside the helmet it is very hot and very hard to breathe. Imagine these actors who must spend many hours wearing the helmet. It must be quite overwhelming and very hard to breathe. Normally, those people who do cosplay use some small holes in the helmet to be able to breathe, and although the original Ranger helmets are not supposed to have these holes, here we can see them clearly. These are scenes that go by very quickly, so it is almost impossible to see them, and the production did a good job. A curiosity that you probably noticed is that Zack uses his original fighting style called hip-hop Kido. He started using this fighting style in the first episodes of Mighty Morphin, and it has been something that has always highlighted this character. This fighting style is a combination of martial arts with a hip-hop dance style. Although many of us have always liked this style of fighting, some fans have criticized it as a stereotype towards the people who listen to this style of music. Another mistake that very few people noticed is Snizzards Suit when he falls to the ground after Rocky's kick. We obviously all know that the monsters are created with special suits which are made of fabric and other different materials. Still, the job of the production is to try to keep this from being noticeable and make the viewer feel like they are watching a real monster. In the Power Rangers franchise, that has always been something a bit neglected, since, being a family series, they don't worry about giving seriousness to these details. In this particular case, the special episode was created with a more adult audience in mind, so these details are more noticeable. A very curious fact that no one has been able to understand is the attack by Rita that Trini received and then later Min. This attack was exactly the same, but the final result was different since Trini died, but Min survived. Everyone has tried to decipher the reason for this, and it is that when Min receives the attack, all the power is absorbed by the Morpher. The curious thing about this is that when Trini receives the attack, she was using her Morpher, but still she was vaporized by the energy. A very strange mistake was the Pink Ranger's neck, since in one scene it looked very strange, and at that moment it was difficult to understand what was going on. Then when we look at the scene carefully, we can realize that her neck looks shorter, and it seems that the costume was different. There is another theory about this, and it is that also the actress who was wearing the costume at that time could have been another one. One detail that some may have noticed is the name on the mailbox at Trini's house, as before Zack moved in with Min, the text on the mailbox was different. The day Zack and Billy went to Trini's house to talk to Min, the mailbox had the Kwan family name on it. Then when Zack moves to that same house to live with Min to take care of her, the mailbox text changes and now has Min's last name and also Zack's last name, which is Taylor. Let's continue with silly mistakes, and this mistake is something that happens in all productions. In order to shoot a movie, You need to shoot many different scenes, and sometimes the most complicated thing is to have continuity. This means that the first scene you shoot has the same elements as the next scene. In this case, we have Minotauro, who is being attacked by the Rangers and then falls near the stairs after receiving a heavy blow. Here we can start to see that in the filming this scene ended there, and then they started filming the next scene. We can notice this because Minotauro now appears lying in the very center of the scene, far away from the stairs where he had originally fallen. We all knew that Tommy has a son named JJ, but in this special episode we can officially see that Kat is his mother. This son has been mentioned several times in the franchise, and all the fans hope that soon we can see him become a Power Ranger. For now, we already have Trini's daughter as the Yellow Ranger, but if JJ joins the team, he could be the new Green Ranger. This would be a perfect solution to Jason David Frank's absence, and we could say goodbye to Tommy Oliver's character like we did with Trini in this special episode. Now I'm going to mention some curiosities that you may have already seen in many articles, but I'm still going to mention them in case some of you didn't know. The special kick that Rocky gives Snizzard is seen as a form of redemption, since he had injured himself trying to do a kick when he was the Blue Ranger. Two iconic characters of the franchise are Bulk and Skull, both of whom were part of many seasons since the beginning of Power Rangers. Fans were expecting them to appear at some point in the special episode, and although they may not appear as we all thought they would, we still got a glimpse of them for a moment. In this scene we can see the sign for what appears to be an advertisement for their restaurant. Many have mentioned this as a fun fact, but I think it's pretty obvious that we were all able to notice the appearance of Billy's car. This car was built to travel at high speed, and in this special episode we were able to see a second version of the original car. Something we had already talked about in this channel is the color of Min's clothes in the first photo they used to promote the filming of the special episode. In this photo we can see that Min wears clothes with various colors, but the reality is that this was digitally changed to leave fans curious. Originally this shirt was yellow, but as we all know, Rangers always wear the color of their power, so if they had left Min's clothes with the yellow color, then they would have ruined everything. Despite this, all the fans already thought that she was going to be the next Yellow Ranger, but it was information that no one could confirm, and the photo would have been a confirmation that would have possibly ruined the excitement we felt when she finally became a Yellow Ranger and everything was confirmed. There are several more curiosities that many have already mentioned, so leave in the comments other curiosities that you think no one has mentioned and mistakes that only you could see. If you liked the special episode, like this video and subscribe for more Power Rangers curiosities.